Next we'll be looking at the various we'll be continuing with the lecture on Python. Clear? Now first we'll be looking at the two modes of Python. Okay? One is IDE interactive mode. Okay? This is IDLE mode. Okay? Where you'll be provided with the GUI. Okay? Other mode, this is script mode, where you're supposed to write down in the form of files. Okay? This is script mode. I'll be showing you that how this is done. Suppose what we do, we go to the Python. Okay, so whatever we're writing, suppose x is equal to 2, we're writing. Okay. We're writing print x. Yeah, whatever we're writing, this is an interactive mode, IDLE mode. Clear? This is IDLE mode. But what happens if we are supposed to write in script mode? What you are supposed to do, click the file, then you are supposed to open a new file. You are supposed to save it with this, like suppose we are saving it with loops. Open. Sorry, we're not opening here. I have made some files. Suppose I am making a new file over here. This is, you will be getting a new file. This is called script mode. You are writing here in a script mode. What you can do, you can just work in both the modes. Clear? Next we'll be taking up the various data types that are there in Python. So now we'll be looking at the various data types. So broadly classifying, we have these data types in Python. How these are classified into 5 categories: numbers, none, sequence, sets, and mapping. Numbers can be further classified as either integer, either floating point, either complex number. Integer can also be boolean also. Similarly, sequences are there. We can have strings, tuples, or list. We have sets here. We have mappings as well as dictionaries. Clear? We'll be looking at each of the data type one by one. So firstly, we'll be taking up the number data type. What is there with the number data type? Now this stores the numerical values. Now, and this is immutable. Immutable. What do you mean by immutable? That the value of the object cannot be changed. Clear? We will be taking up this in the coming lectures. So at this point, keep in mind that this is immutable, and that is the value of the object cannot change. Now the number can be integer and long, float, or it can be complex also. Integers, as you know, any positive or negative number, that is known as integer. So how we'll be looking at that, we'll be writing this in Python shell. Suppose we have x is equal to 234, we're typing. If we write down, if you want to find the type of any particular number, what we are supposed to write? Type x. Clear? It will give you that this is an int type. Clear? This is an integer type. And suppose similarly, if you want to have the print of this, print the value of this thing, what are you supposed to write? Print x. You write down print x, you will be getting 234. Okay? This is how you have printed the value of x. Now this is one of the example of int. Similarly, we can have floating number also. Suppose we take y is equal to 345.23. Okay? If we want to find out the type of this variable, what we will be writing? Type of y. If you give enter, it will be giving you type float is there. Clear? This is a floating point type number. Similarly, we have looked at two data types. Here we have looked at two data types. One is, just hold on, where the classification is. We have looked at integer, floating point. Now we'll be looking at the complex numbers. What is there with the complex number? Suppose we take any variable u is equal to 0. It will be written like plus 2j. Okay? So we have defined any variable u. We write down, if we write down type of u, we write down, it will give you complex. Okay? So this is example of complex data type variable. Next, we have looked at all these things. Now, secondly, integers, there can be one long number also. Suppose we type of c is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. In the end we write down L. This represents a long. Clear? If we write like this, if we want to find out type of C, it will give you long. That is, the type of this is long. Similarly, boolean is there. Suppose we have any variable flag, we evaluate this as to be true. Clear? So we have a variable flag which has been evaluated to true. If we want to find out the type of this, we will be writing the type of flag. It will give you that this is a boolean type. So we have taken care of all the data types of number data. Then we can have sequences also. We'll be looking at the sequences. Floating point we have taken up, complex number we have taken up. None is no. It is a special data type with a single value. To represent the absence of value, we use none variable. Next, we'll be looking at the sequences. Sequence, what is there in sequence? It is an ordered collection of items indexed by positive integers. Clear? If we have ordered collection of items, then we say that this is a sequence. Sequence can be of three types. First we will be looking at the strings. Strings, what is there? You know, everyone know what is string. It is a collection of letters or characters. Okay, there one thing that is to be kept in mind, that string, that is always to be represented in single quotes. Clear? Then how, suppose we take any variable, suppose z is there, we give it to suppose we are writing it as Sumit. Clear? Then we write down the type of z. This will give you that this is of string data type. Clear? What is there with string data type? It is a string is an ordered sequence of letters or characters. And second thing, that they are supposed to be enclosed in single or double quotes. इसको हमेशा कोट्स में लिखना है, या सिंगल कोट्स में या डबल कोट्स में. बट कोट्स जो हैं दे वोंट बी द पार्ट ऑफ स्ट्रिंग. जब भी आप इसको प्रिंट करवाओगे दे वोंट बी displayed. If you want to print the value of this, if you want to print a z, you won't, print, write down z, you won't be getting the quotes, only you will be getting the output as Sumit. So what it states, that the quotes are not a part of the string. They only they tell the computer that where the string constant begins or end, कि स्ट्रिंग आपका कहाँ से शुरू होता है, कहाँ से खत्म होता है, ये आपको कोड्स बताते हैं. बट दे आर नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रिंग. दे कैन हैव एनी कैरेक्टर और साइन. स्पेसेस भी हो सकते हैं. सपोज वी राइट डाउन द स्ट्रिंग, सपोज वी हैव टी एज द स्ट्रिंग, वी वांट टू राइट डाउन, वी राइट डाउन गुड मॉर्निंग. क्लियर? दिस इज थिंग. टी इज इक्वल, if again we find out the type of t, it will give you that this is string data. If you want to print the value of t, it will give you that this is good morning without quotes. Clear? If spaces are there, spaces are accepted, but the quotes are not supposed to be the part of the string. They can have any character or sign including space in them. Now these are again immutable data type. Clear? What is immutable data type? That their value does not changes. I think we will be taking up this in the coming lectures. Clear? So these are some of the examples of this. Again, one thing to be checked with string, even if we type any integer in double quotes, suppose if we write like this. Clear? Again, type of this 3.2, this will be string, because we have written this into 3.2. Clear? So one perception that is in mind, that you are only to keep the string can contain characters only. So this is not correct. You are supposed to, anything that is written in quotes, that will be considered as a string. Clear? So will be the other things, typecasting are there. We'll be taking up this in the later lectures. Here we'll be taking up only data. Suppose if we want to look at simple typecasting, suppose we have any variable b is equal to, suppose 25 is there. If we write down c is equal to float of b, then we write down print c. What is happening? It is giving you 25.0. So what actually is happening over here is b is of int data type. Here b is of integer data type, but we have converted this b into float. Here we have written up this thing, that float of b, that means the int b has been converted into float, and the value of the same has been stored in the variable c. Then we try to print the value of c. This is known as typecasting. That means converting one data type into other data type. So what is happening over here is, it is giving you it is converting int data type to float data type. Clear? This is known as typecasting. This can be implicit also, this can be explicit also. Clear? If what is implicit, what is explicit? Hello? मैं तो कर दूँ 5 मिनट क्लास लूँगा, 5 मिनट करता, हाँ कर दूँ। Low. Clear? So what is happening over here? This is typecasting. That is, we are converting one of the data type into other data type. So this can be implicit also, explicit also. What is there in implicit? Implicit typecasting or type conversion takes place by the compiler itself only. Programmer is not supposed to do anything. But when the programmer writes some code, like here we have written some code, this is example of explicit type conversion. Clear? This is with the strings. Then we have lists. We can also have the second data type. How list is to be taken up? Suppose we have one variable we are taking up is this thing, I is equal to, suppose we have Sumit, we have 2, 3, 4.5. Okay. This is an example of a list. Okay. If you want to find out the data type of this thing, this is type, so it will be giving you the list. If you want to print the value of this thing, this is how you will be getting the value. Clear? List is, what is list? List is also again a sequence of values of any types. Okay? One thing that is to be kept in mind, there is no restriction of having same type of data type. It can be of any data type. The values in the list are called elements or items. Clear? These are mutable and indexed. Mutable means that their values can be changed. This is one of the example of the list. Clear? Similarly, we can have tuples also. Again, it is a value of any type and they are indexed by integer. Okay. Next example will be having as sets. Okay. How sets will be looking? What is set? It is basically an unordered collection of values. What is there? It is unordered collection of values of any type with no duplicate entries. Clear? Suppose we define any R is equal to, we define R as any set, will be supposed to write down the data type set, the keyword set, then write this, and then 2 3 4, then we are supposed to close this thing. Find out the type of R. Okay, this will be giving you the type set. Okay, this is the set value. Then last data type that will be taking up is mapping. Clear? Mapping is, what is there with the mapping? It is unordered and mutable, and the dictionaries falls under mapping. Clear? Next, look at how the dictionaries are defined. They can store any number of Python objects. One thing is that for dictionaries it can store any number of objects. It is basically a combination of key and values. Key value pairs are there. Suppose we are supposed to define any dictionary, we write down D. This is, suppose we are writing this like D is equal to, we are supposed to use curly braces. 1 is mapped to A is supposed to be written in quotes. 2, this is mapped to B. Then we have 3, this is mapped to C, and close it with curly braces. If you want to find out the type of D, it will be giving you the dictionary value. Clear? This is how the dictionaries are to be done. Then we have values of an object. Value means whatever value has been assigned. What value is used to bind to a variable. We use an assignment operator. Like assignment operator is there. Here 3145 has been assigned to the variable pi. So 3145 is the value of the variable. So this is how the data types are there in Python. You can look at this and you can work upon this Python shell. How to download it, how to start with that has been given in the previous video also. So you are supposed to use it.